Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire.
I want to talk about something that's very important to me. It drives me a little crazy because a lot of times I'll hear about, oh, the starving artist and how you can only do one thing, or you don't really care about being an actor if you have multiple creative jobs and what have you. So that may have been true in the past. I don't know how far in the past, but I will say that I know being a multi-hyphenate today, in this day and age in 2022, is not only okay, it is a good thing. It is admired, it is admirable. And Amanda and I were talking about this just before we started, and we talked about how you want to be good at each thing that you're doing, and you want to make sure you pay attention to the craft of each thing that you're claiming is a job for you, because if somebody calls for the job, you want to make sure you can do it, right? Hey, everybody, how you doing? Give me some hearts. I want to know you're up in here. Hi, Michaela. Hi. So good to see you. Yes. So I got really scared about being multi-hyphenate because I felt like people would look at me, look at my page and be like, is she an actor? Is she a host? Is she a humanitarian? Is she a writer? What is she? She seems like a whole lot of doesn't know what she is. And one day I was in one of those casting director classes, and I just asked the question because I just needed that to know. And I was curious, and the casting director was talking about a writer that she was personally working with. So she was not only casting her own projects, and this is a big TV casting director, but she was writing her own project and sharing that with us, which was so sweet, and talking about it. And I had taken classes with the girl that she was working with. And so this conversation kind of started, and I was like, can I just ask you, is it wrong for me to love acting and want me to be that main thing, but also have an interest in writing and hosting and producing? Does that mean I'm not serious in your eyes? And I felt the whole room go, oh, oh, oh my, like, what is she asking this question for? I'm not kidding. Amanda's laughing right now, but like legit, I'm serious. Oh. The casting director was like, no, like everybody's a multi-hyphenate now. I'm a multi-hyphenate now. And we love it because it brings all types of creativity into your craft. And so a lot of times with my clients, when I'm talking to them, and it's okay, it's a real thing, they'll say, I want to do acting. This is my dream. And I'm also working this job that I hate to support myself. And when I try to brainstorm with them about maybe doing other creative jobs they like in addition to acting, they freeze up. Hi, hello, how everybody's doing? Give me some hearts up in here. Hello, Blueprint Guidance, always here for us. Thank you so much. And they get really frozen. And I can see that it hits their heart, because there's this idea, and I used to be there, that if acting is something I really want to do, but I have to do some other type of jobs, I don't have what it takes to be an actor and have it as a career, or I never will, or it doesn't mean that I really care. But if I'm doing acting and doing a job completely unrelated, it means that I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm very serious, right? And I understand that thinking. But when I first started out, and everyone's like, well, easy for you to say, which is something that happens a lot. Remember, pay attention to what you can control. Don't look around, because you don't know the people's journeys. And they say, look at me now and be like, oh, Janelle, but of course it's easy for you to say. You do modeling, acting, hosting, producing. Of course it's easy for you to say. When I started out, I was working at a restaurant. I was a nanny, and I was passing out shots of wine at your favorite local liquor store. Knows a liquor store. I was passing out wine samples, trying to get you to buy them. Yep. And I was a personal assistant for a lawyer. So we all have to start somewhere. But then I started meeting people in the industry who were like, no, but you could do commercial print. You could narrate books and do voiceovers. You could do the hosting. There's many jobs that you can do. Amanda has multiple jobs as well. And she's a very, very talented actress and storyteller. So it doesn't take away from that. And the more I got around people that were like, yeah, acting is my focus, but I also dabble in these other creative things, and they work together and they bring me joy, and they help me have empathy for other people that are working in my field. And I feel more grounded, and there's so much to say about that. So I really want you to think about this if you haven't considered other creative jobs within the fashion and entertainment industry for whatever reason, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for being here. I love you. We love you. Welcome to Coffee with Coaches. I want to open your mind to that. And I have lots more stories, but Amanda, can you speak to that? Because you also produce and write and you do all these things. And can you tell me a little bit about your journey in regarding to moving away from just acting?
Of course. So it's interesting because I'm not, again, and I've talked about this many times, I'm not one of those people that knew exactly. I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, and I'm going to be a performer. I'm going to be an actor. No, it wasn't something that I even thought was possible. So I did the kind of trajectory that was set out for me, which was the 9 to 5, go to college, get a 9 to 5 and kind of go that route. And I did that, but I realized that there was a lack of joy within that journey. There was a lack of passion. And I realized that when I stumbled upon acting, which was the wildest thing, is like someone just randomly told me, do some background work and, it'll be easy money. Great. And I loved it and I fell in love ever since then. And I decided to actively pursue that simultaneously with my 9 to 5. And then I realized I reached a point where I was able to put in the focus towards being an actor and saying that that's my full-time job. And don't get me wrong, that journey, it was really tough because throughout that journey, going to workshops and working with other people and some of the mentors that I had earlier on, they told me that I was only able to do and be an actor, like only focus on that. You shouldn't be doing a like a multi-passionate person, like focus on that, because then you'll be seen as you're not putting so much effort into being an actor. You'll get distracted by the real world. They want an actor to be just in acting. And so it actually put a little bit of fear in me because I didn't know, because I was just starting and learning. So if I had been offered like, would you like mind being like an assistant on a production, small job? I'm like, no, I got to focus on that. Do you want me to be on set as an actor? Sure. And I would deny and restrict myself from learning also other skills. And I realized that it actually was a disservice to me because I end up not realizing the totality of the work and the art. So I actually did myself a disservice and I was like only focused on as actor. I wasn't considering the line producer, the grip, the gaffer, all these departments that were involved in just the project itself. I was just very consumed by being an actor and that's what I was going to be. And it really took a little bit of the importance of being an actor and a storyteller and what we're doing it for. And when I decided and I realized and I started asking other casting directors and I was going to workshops, they were like, no, we love that because it shows that you actually are a real person outside of this. You have other hobbies because you bring that into your work. Like Nell said, when you have other interests, they basically contribute to your work. You have more passion, more creativity. It feeds that. It doesn't take away from it at all. It makes it even more, voluminous, it makes it more grand and also makes you more relatable to anybody. So it took me a while to get to that journey. And then even writing, and I'll pass it back to you, but even writing, when I was working my 9 to 5, I met a beautiful woman, Melody Cooper, who is now an amazing writer. She encouraged me to write. I was like, I can't be a writer. I even said that to her. I'm like, no, I'm an actor. She's like, but you can write. You have a story. I'm like, no. I can't. I don't know how to write. I never went to school for that. Like writing. She was like, just start. Just do it. You have a story, so tell it. And then I started. I said, all right, fine. I'll do like a little something. And she was like, this is your voice. It's great. How do you feel? Now, don't get me wrong, you have the more established writers out there, of course, but everybody has a skill within them. And now, ever since then, I have a bunch of short stories and feature films that I want to create that are my creative outlooks and stories that I want to share. So, give yourself permission to explore your creativity because you don't know where it's going to take you throughout your journey because you don't know, how it can feed the career or vocation or life path that you want to go to. Be flexible and open, but also have in the end goal but just be flexible, because there's doors that can lead you to that journey, and a window over here, a person over there, and be open to the help from others. So that was my journey of just like becoming a writer. And then after I had that encouragement of like, oh, I can write, then I started exploring other options. Like, oh, I could be a producer. I can produce. I can get on there and learn how to produce a project and like partner up with people. Hey, Melissa. I love Melissa. Sorry, that was really exciting. Other beautiful actor and producer friend. And it just encouraged an amazing group around me. And now because of that, I feel so multi-passionate and so multifaceted. And it also gives me opportunity to be empathetic and available to others in a way that is creative. And it's just an opportunity to learn. And with every craft, and I was telling this to Nell, with every craft, make sure you're giving its due. Make sure you're giving its time. You can do it all, but give each item or job or career its time and focus, because when you don't, it defeats the purpose of intellectual awareness and a skill, creating a skill. Now I'll put it back to you as I rambled on.
Yes, well, thank you for sharing. A perfect example. And Melissa on here, another badass, gorgeous lady that is also a multi-hyphenate. And that takes me to my next point. So hello, everybody. If you're still here with us, give us some hearts on this beautiful Sunday evening, wherever you are. We're on the eastern side, but, New York City, Pennsylvania. But glad you're here. And we're talking about how it's good to open yourself up to being a multi-hyphenate. But yes, whatever you choose to dabble in, as they say, it is good to try it out and see if you like it. And then if you do like it, it is a craft. And it is something to be respected, and it is a career choice. And that's why I'm talking about career research. And this is the next thing. So, okay, I could be a multi-hyphenate, Janelle. Acting's my number one thing, or whatever, fill in the blank. But I also want to do other things. Okay, great. So now is the time for you to research within fashion and entertainment what is exciting to you. And then after you've tried it out, if you're like, oh, like Amanda, oh, well, this writing thing is kind of working and I like producing, and you'll start to see what feels really good and kind of feels maybe a little natural. And then, yes, you want to work on the craft of it. You want to take classes for photography, classes for writing. You want to get in writing groups. You want to get around people that are doing it. And so a really fun thing that happened with me is hosting is very easy for me, obviously for Amanda too. Here we are hosting in a way, even though we're coaching. And that was something somebody told me I should try out, and I had a lot of fun with it. And the coolest thing that happened was one time I was hosting something for Thrillist, and we're in this apple orchard and we're interviewing this guy about his apples and his hay rides, and he was like kind of actually a little drunk the whole time, and it was pretty comical. He was drunk off of his like hard apple cider. He kept giving us samples, but taking 2. Here's 1 for you, here's 7 for me. It was a lot of fun. But I'm sharing this because I had applied to acting work daily, or at least every other day, to stay on top of things. We had a beautiful day. I really bonded with the group that I was working with, which is a part of the work that I love. You get like at the beginning of the day, you start as a stranger, and by the end of the day, you all are like colleagues and maybe even best friends. And so we had a whole day of hosting with this crazy drunk guy that was trying to drive us around on his Apple tractor. And I heard the producer talking about this project that he was casting. And I remember that project because 2 days before I had applied. And I was like, yo, hey, I know your project. I applied for that. He was like, you did? I was like, yeah. How did you not see? He was like, I'm sorry. I've been busy. You got the job. You got the job. So you see, I was on a hosting job, being professional, because I had done the research and worked on the hosting craft and was becoming recognized in that field. And other people that are also multi-hyphenates, he has his own series. He's a writer, he's a producer, and he was also doing that to make money too. We met that way. And because I am open to being a multi-hyphenate, it helped me get an acting job, and that short ended up in festivals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful way to open up your creativity and to have more joy in your quote unquote side hustles. You're creative, you're a storyteller, your light has got to shine, and you have so many people you can touch. And it really hurts me when I see people doing jobs that they don't like. We all got to work, and you got to start somewhere. I started out doing the nanny and personal assistant and restaurant work, but the more I got into the industry, the more I found other industry jobs I could get. And then, as Amanda said, it started to feed into each other, and I had more empathy for other parts of the field and other people in the field. And it also made me more confident in general, not in a I'm better way, but like, I see you. This is a collaboration. I'm an actor, but I'm a small part of this. Okay, so if y'all are with me, still give me some hearts up in here. So I'm going to take it back to Amanda because I was a little long-winded, but I had to talk about the hard apple cider guy because he was so funny. Right. But do you have anything to add in regards to what I'm saying about this journey, the multi-hyphenate journey?
Yeah, I love the hearts. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for joining again us this evening, as we're trying something out this evening at 9 p.m., making sure you're here with us. What I will add to that is ask for help, right? Ask. So if you're curious about a field, seek out someone who has experience in it, has a skill in it. And if they turn you down, that's okay, because sometimes people don't have the capacity to share. Sometimes people don't want to share because they're selfish, because they think you're going to take their place or try to take something from them. That's their opinion. It's not yours, because you know that there's space for everyone. So just remember that there is space for all of us, no matter what you're doing. So remember that. And if someone feels it's limited or scarce, let them think that, because you don't, because you know there's an abundance out there for you, right? But when you find the right person and you reach out, just ask simple questions out of curiosity, not in a manipulative way. Ask, like, I'm curious, how'd you get there? It's not about the money. Take the money out of it. I will say, just take the money out of it when it comes to something like being a multifaceted and multi-passionate person. Take the money out of it, because when you do, you're going to find something that you truly love, and the money will come regardless. The money will find you. Right? Because you're leading with love and kindness, and you're doing the art or the work or anything at all. You're doing it out of the care and enjoyment. So the money will come because you'll put that positive energy into it. And it's like a magnet. You'll attract all of it. You will. So, put the money aside and really dig deep into the idea of what it brings to you. What kind of joy does it bring to you? And explore that as well. Take the time to explore these different avenues within the industry or the career. Don't cut yourself off and think that, like, no, I just want to be like a dermatologist, or I don't know, like a marketing person. Think about where marketing can take you. It can take you in different avenues. You can be marketing for a veterinarian. That sounds fun. All of the things, like, be explorative. Hey, cat. Hey, girl. Hey, baby. Be open, to those things as well. But, just know that. And then see, with that comes and we talked about values earlier. With exploring these things, you'll understand what you like and what you don't. Here's the thing about that too. You'll understand, like, oh, all right. Like, I decide I wanted to do, what was it, like some type of work in the industry, like editing, stuff like that. And I started doing that because someone offered it to me. Don't really like it. I tried it and I was like, you know what? It's not for me. I'd rather let somebody else do that. Now I know, because I tried. Doing and trying new things gives the universe opportunities to bless you. I truly believe that. And be grateful and lead with gratitude as well, because I had almost an epiphany recently. You're constantly going to ask the universe to bless you with these abundance or joys and gifts and things like that, right? Your vocation, your job, whatever it is, family. If you were to expect someone to give you a gift and you don't say thank you or show gratitude, would they want to give you a gift again? Would they really want to give you a gift again? Probably not. Probably not, because you're like, oh, okay, thank you, bye. You're throwing it away. You're like, no, it becomes dismissive. So, make sure you have that gratitude, because you're showing gratitude to the universe or God, whoever you believe in. They will continue to bless you because you're being grateful for it. But going back to just the explorative and the creative and doing the research, ask the questions, because there are so many jobs out there, so many jobs in one field that you'll be surprised how, like, it was even possible, or what skill. Maybe you're really good at like numbers, but like, you don't know how being good at numbers can contribute to another portion of a job. Right? So just again, like, it's really allowing the space to explore, ask the questions, do the research, and be open, and find the joy, like enjoy the process, and understand this. And I had to learn this kind of the hard way, and I wish I had learned this when I was doing the 9 to 5 in a respectful way, is that do your best, even if you don't like the job. Even if you don't like the job, do your best, because it will serve you, and you don't even know how it will serve you in the long run. People will respect you more. People will literally, I know she doesn't belong here, but she does her job and she's great. Or he does their job and they're great. I appreciate that. And they'll be more likely to support you when you decide to either leave or try something different. And what I will say this, and this will be like my last thing, and I'll pass it on to you now, is don't be afraid to say what you are. And what I mean by that is, like, as an actor, it took me a very long time while I was in my 9 to 5. I'm like, yeah, I'm an actor. I'm an actor. I'm an actor. Oh, that's great. So is that your hobby? And because of the way, yeah, girl, oh, it's a good hobby. Like, no, it's not a hobby. It's my career. It's something that I'm working toward. But it was the way that I was saying it too. I was saying it, I wasn't saying it with confidence. I wasn't saying it with assurance. Like, I didn't have that undenying belief that I was an actor, right? I was just saying it like, yeah, I'm an actor. Like, what? Speak up. What are you? I'm an actor. Say it with confidence. And believe that, because the more you say it, the more it becomes your belief. And then, so it took me a while to say that. And when I did, it changes your whole movement in life. It really does, because if you become sure that I'm an actor, it becomes an undeniable belief. Right. And I struggled with that. And now let me tell you, yes, I'm an actor. I'm a co-host, a writer, producer, of all the things. And I embrace all aspects of my life in that way. Embrace all of it, because you are a multi-passionate person. You are a multifaceted person. This society makes us think that we have to be one thing. It's bullshit. Anyway, that was my
bullshit. That's what you have to hear.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, we have to run here, but thank you so much for everybody that's been watching. And yes, just to quickly recap, in case you're just joining us now, don't be afraid to be a multi-hyphenate. Everybody really is, and there is no shame around it. And be bold and say that you're an actor. But it's funny, it's not even that bold. It's really just society is just like weird. So say everything that you do. And the whole reason I wanted to bring up this topic is because there's a way to do it, and you can have a life and a career where you're doing different jobs that you enjoy as you're building. Acting for Amanda and I, it's our main squeeze. It's what we love. It's what we're really reaching for. But life is full, and there's a lot of things that you can do and a lot of experiences to be had. And as we said earlier, it feeds into the acting and everything else. And so it really breaks my heart when I hear people pursuing acting or whatever the creative field is, and then they're also in a job they hate. And respect it, as Amanda said, but also know that you can make that change. And we're both examples here today, and Melissa's on here, and to show you that you can build a career with multiple creative outlets. And so for me, because when I hear people say, well, I'm worried I'm going to completely let acting down, I try to look at it as, like, let's say a 40-hour work week. I'm going to put maybe 25 hours toward acting, and then my other jobs take up the other time. You can work it out. And what was it, 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe 3 weeks ago, we talked about self-assessment and goals and checking in. I promise you, if you make your goals and you check in weekly and quarterly, you're going to catch yourself if you're dropping something a little bit. And then you'll, without shame, say, okay, well, I want to make sure I stay focused there. So I just don't want you to fear it, because as Amanda and I said, there's so many beautiful things that came out of us saying yes to all these different creative fields.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.